You thought that remote work was going to be good for you. And it kind of is, but unfortunately it's making you pudgy, tired, and weak. Yes, having no commute is wonderful, and a flexible schedule changes everything, but your body is quietly packing on belly fat, draining your energy, and it's killing your sex drive. You're gaining weight even though your diet hasn't changed. You crash every afternoon at 2 p.m. Your libido starts to crash. You feel mentally foggy most of the day. It's not a coincidence. It's because your environment in your house has hijacked your testosterone, your cortisol, and your insulin. Remote work tricks your brain and forces your body to store fat you shouldn't be storing. And the longer that you stay blind to it, the fatter and weaker you become. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how remote work is systematically breaking down your body's fat burning and energy systems and how to fight back so you don't get stuck with a soft, tired body that feels 10 years older than it should. You can make remote work even healthier than going into the office. See, in that office setting, you actually moved around. You walked to your car. You got sunlight on your skin during your commute, during your lunch. You had built-in breaks, structured meals, you even socialized with actual human beings in real life. That regulates your metabolism and your energy. But now, you wake up and you go from bed to screen in 3 easy steps, one of which involves coffee. Maybe you eat, maybe you don't. You're inside all day. The lighting is artificial and probably not even as good as it was in your office. The air is stale. Your posture collapses. You don't even blink correctly because your eyes are locked on the screen for hours, not on the cubicle wall that used to be over there. Remote and hybrid workers have a 40% rate of anxiety and depression, which is higher than people working in cubicles, which also suck. So your body is no longer receiving the cues it needs to function at its best. Your testosterone stops spiking in the morning. This isn't a theoretical issue. In men especially, reduced movement and poor light exposure can suppress testosterone by 20 to 30%. Cortisol, your stress hormone, goes from rhythmic pulses to chronic elevation. So even though working from home feels great, it leaves you anxious, wired, and tired all at once. And then you become less insulin sensitive, so your body stores fat even if your diet hasn't changed. And the longer you ignore this, the more it compounds. Lower testosterone means lower drive, lower motivation. And poor insulin sensitivity means fat gain. Chronically high cortisol leads to inflammation, brain fog, and bad sleep. And the worst part, it's happening silently, and you probably even like it because you didn't have to commute. Because remote work tricks you. It gives you comfort, but it strips away the signals your primal system evolved to depend on. That's why working from home will secretly damage your hormones unless you fix it. And hormones run everything. They dictate how you feel, how you recover, how sharp your mind is, how well you sleep, even whether your body stores fat or builds muscle. So what's the fix? You don't need to quit remote work. You need to start living in a way that your biology actually understands. That means you must be more conscious of how you move, how you eat, and most importantly, how your environment talks to your hormones. And thankfully, you get to control your environment now instead of your employer. You probably heard that sitting is the new smoking. And that's just not about weight gain or back pain, it's hormonal. When you sit for 8 to 10 hours a day, your hip flexors shorten, your glutes deactivate, and your diaphragm collapses. That single chain reaction sends shockwaves through your entire nervous system, and the consequences are biochemical. Your posture affects breathing. Breathing affects your nervous system, and your nervous system controls the production of stress and sex hormones like cortisol and testosterone. See, most remote workers live in a forward flexed position. Rounded shoulders, forward neck, pelvis tilted, and diaphragm compressed. That position subconsciously tells your brain that you're under threat. It mimics the protective stress posture, the same one you'd take in a fight or flight situation. That leads to shallow chest breathing, which spikes cortisol, and it keeps your nervous system in a sympathetic state. You're wired, you're anxious, and constantly on edge. And when your nervous system is stuck in that gear, you don't produce testosterone and you don't release growth hormone. Both of those are just as important for women as they are for men. Your recovery stalls, your libido crashes. You become softer, slower, and more fatigued, even if you're working out. So if you fix your posture, you stop sending the wrong signals. You can breathe better, lower your stress hormones, and allow testosterone to go up again. Here's how you do that. Number 1, reset your sitting posture every 25 to 30 minutes. I actually have 2 chairs in my home office. One of them is a stool, the other one is an actual chair that's ergonomic, and I move back and forth between them. You want to sit at the edge of your chair, roll your shoulders back, place your feet flat on the ground with your knees at a 90-degree angle. That's going to activate your glutes. It's going to open your diaphragm. And number 2, do a daily 2-minute wall angel session. You stand with your back, glutes, and head against the wall, arms raised to a goalpost position, and slowly raise and lower them without losing contact. This resets thoracic extension and it decompresses your chest. And lastly, start doing diaphragm resets. You lie on your back, knees bent, one hand on your belly, and breathe deeply so only your lower hand rises. You do this for 2 to 3 minutes every morning and before bed to reprogram your nervous system. Now, fixing your posture will start to normalize your stress hormones. But there's another hormone that remote work is quietly destroying. And this is one that's even more dangerous to your metabolism. And if you don't fix this, all of the posture work in the world won't save you. It's a hormone you've heard about 1 million times, but never fully understood. It helps your body absorb nutrients from food, mainly glucose. But the second it's chronically elevated, your body stops burning fat. Your cells stop responding to it. That hormone is insulin. Every time you eat, especially carbs or processed snacks, your insulin spikes. But when you're not moving, your muscles don't absorb that glucose efficiently. So your body shuttles it into fat storage. Over time, your cells become numb to insulin. It means your body needs more of it just to process food. And the more insulin you have, the more fat you have. It also means more cravings, more crashes, and you get tired. In remote work, when you combine it with sitting all day and grazing every 2 hours, it's the perfect recipe to develop insulin resistance. But when you restore your insulin sensitivity, your energy comes back. Your metabolism speeds up, your cravings fade, and testosterone rises again. You don't need some insane diet to make that happen. The first step is to shrink your eating window. Aim for an 8 to 10 hour eating window. For example, eat between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. That gives your body enough time to lower insulin and resensitize your cells. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes after meals. You work from home. You can take 10 minutes for a walk. You can even be on your phone during the walk. Moving immediately after you eat will reduce insulin spikes and it improves glucose disposal. So it's simple, but it's one of the most powerful tools for metabolic health. And a great idea that's highly time efficient is to do interval walking. You begin with a slow, comfortable pace for 3 minutes. Then for the next 3 minutes, you walk much faster at a brisk pace. And you want to get your heart rate up, and you want to be at about the level where you can talk, but you're almost out of breath, but not quite. And then after 3 minutes, reduce your pace to a really slow, leisurely pace so your heart rate can drop. And if you do that for 30 minutes, it has more benefits metabolically than 10,000 steps a day. That's right. 3 minutes of slow walking, 3 minutes of fast walking for a half hour. Everybody can do this. Next up, you need to stop snacking. When you consume enough healthy fats and proteins at your meals, you don't want to snack. But if you feel like you must snack, ditch the crackers, ditch the protein bars. Go for eggs, grass-fed, sugar-free beef jerky, olives, or a clean protein shake. Those aren't going to spike your insulin the way carbs do. And most importantly, do REHIT training 3 times per week. REHIT stands for Reduced Exertion High Intensity Interval Training. It's a mouthful, but what it means is you're going to walk really slowly, do a 20-second all-out burst of effort, ideally with resistance, like you would on an assault bike. And then you rest for 3 minutes and do it again. The total time is less than 5 minutes. And doing this on a cardio bike works best, but it's possible to do it in a park. See some of my other videos about REHIT if you want to go deep on that. You want to cycle as hard as you can for 20 seconds, make sure you have 3 minutes of rest, and then do it again, and then you're done. More intervals produces less results. And if you live near an Upgrade Labs, you can get perfect REHIT on our AI adaptive bikes. Just go to upgradelabs.com to find a location near you. Your muscles act like sponges that soak up blood sugar. When you train this way, your body handles food better and keeps your blood sugar stable. The remote work lifestyle has secretly turned eating and sitting into a hormonal landmine. But you don't need to starve yourself. You just need to move smarter, eat in a smaller window, choose the right foods, and stop spiking insulin all day. But even if you fix your posture, you nail your meals, there's one more piece that almost every remote worker ignores, and it's the one that controls everything. You wake up, you stare at your phone, You spend your day inside under artificial lights. You finish your night with Netflix blasting blue light into your eyes. Your brain gets completely confused. It doesn't know when to produce cortisol to wake you up or when to produce melatonin to help you wind down. It means your body stays in a state of hormonal chaos, tired during the day, wired at night, inflamed 24/7. The problem is your body doesn't just run on food and sleep. It runs on light. And if your light exposure is off, your circadian rhythm breaks. That's bad because your circadian rhythm is the master clock that controls every single hormone. That means that when your circadian rhythm is broken, you can't lose weight, you can't recover, and your energy will never stabilize no matter how clean you eat or how much you try to sleep. Your mitochondria actually rely on natural light to function properly. When they don't get it, they stop producing energy efficiently. That's why remote workers often feel exhausted by noon and wired by midnight. That's why when you expose your body to the right light at the right times, you start to feel like a high-functioning human again. Here's the cycle. Your circadian rhythm resets at night. Cortisol spikes in the morning to give you energy naturally. It is not bad at that time. Melatonin rises at night. Your testosterone is lower at night and higher in the morning, and it's in a daily rhythm. You get deeper sleep, and your metabolism speeds up. And you don't want to overlook how powerful this is. So here's what I want you to do if you work at home. Get 10 to 15 minutes of direct morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. Just you and the sun. No sunglasses, no contacts, no glass between you and the sun. This anchors your circadian rhythm and kickstarts your morning cortisol the way nature intended. And I want you to get dimmer switches, or better yet, dim red lighting, and use that for 1 to 2 hours before bed. Use red bulbs, and if you're going to be staring at screens or going to a bright part of your house, I'm not even kidding, put on your True Dark glasses. True Dark glasses are clinically shown to trick your brain into thinking it's dark. Your brainwaves change in 15 minutes in a published medical study after you wear these. And it relaxes your brain, and it tells your body and your hormones that it's evening, even if there's some light. That's going to prevent melatonin suppression, and it's going to allow your body to wind down naturally. So you sync your sleep to light instead of the clock. And you aim to go to bed 2 to 3 hours after sunset, and you want to wake close to sunrise. That's right. Going to bed earlier gives you better hormones, and you'll naturally want to wake up closer to when the sun wakes up. You don't have to be perfect, but every hour you stay up past 10 p.m. actually reduces your testosterone, it reduces your deep sleep, it reduces your growth hormone. So an hour of sleep before midnight is worth more than an hour of sleep after. Because you work from home, you can control your sleep schedule better. Next up, I want you to take a walk outside at lunch. It doesn't have to be a long walk, and no sunglasses, because midday sun reinforces your alertness, and it improves the neurotransmitters that regulate your mood, like serotonin and dopamine. And when your system detects that the sun is overhead, now your mitochondria know it's the middle of the day. Your nervous system is basically light-sensitive technology. If you don't control your light, you'll never control your hormones. And if you don't control your hormones, you'll never feel fully alive, no matter how many supplements or routines you try. Every day you wait, your body drifts further from its natural state. Your hormones become more dysregulated, your energy gets harder to recover, your metabolism slows down, maybe even permanently. But every day you align your environment with your biology, you reverse years of damage and unlock capabilities you probably forgot you had. The reality is, you have a remote job. You get to set your environment up so that you thrive. And it doesn't take a lot of work. You just need to know what to do. And the choice is really simple. You can evolve or you can decay. There is no standing still.